Hi guys, welcome to the YouTube channel. So today's agenda is to cover the most important topic of Azure, um, which is Azure Load Balancer. So we will try to cover most of the scenario and we will do the demo part as well. So in this pictorial representation, if we check, we have opened the port 80 and we have this public load balancer along with this private load balancer. So we can assume that we have two kind of load balancer inside the Azure. One is public, so public can directly, if we are directly getting the load from outside from the internet, so we can set public load balancer over here, and we can set this internal load balancer inside the network. So if we talked about the Azure load balancer, it is basically distribute the incoming traffic to the pools of virtual machines. So it stop routing the traffic to failed virtual machine in the pool as well, and that is why how we can make our application resilient to any software or hardware failures. So that is how it works. So today we will create a lab and we will try to know all the aspects of load balancer. How does it work, how we can set this, and what are the configures any elements. So basically inside the lab we can check the front end IP configuration. We can also check the backend IP configuration as well. Rule of load balancing, and one more thing, props we can check. Okay, so these are the configuration element inside the Azure load balancer. I have already created this lab, guys, you can check. So according to this lab, firstly we will create this virtual network. Then inside the virtual network we would have this default subnet, and then we will create two servers, server 1 and server 2. Then we will try to create this load balancer and we'll try to distribute the load between both of these servers. So let's jump over the demo part. Okay, now we have opened our Azure portal, guys. So according to this lab, firstly we need to create the virtual network. uh, Earlier we have already done this task, so I will create my virtual network. Here it is. So we will perform the same thing here. Let me create it. Let me give a meaningful name, and since I don't have any resource group, I'll create a resource group. Let me create it. Okay, let me give a name it here. I need to select my location. Since I'm in India, I'll select this one. Okay, okay, I need to create a subnet. Let it be default. No issue. Okay, I have created this virtual network. In the meanwhile, so let it be deploy. In the meanwhile, we can create a two virtual machine with the server according to this grid diagram. So let's open the, sorry, it's my mistake. Let me open the virtual machines. Let me create a virtual machine, guys. Okay, resource group, I'll select this one. So I'll be VM1. I need to select my location. Mm, Let me search it, guys. Okay, here it is. No infrastructure required. Standard. We have already done these tasks. So I need to select the server. Okay, let it be. Let me select the username. Let me give the password. Make sure, guys, you remember this password because it will required later. So once we connect this machine, let me check the disk here. Okay, let it be complete. It's already taking the virtual network default subnet. I can click on this. So during the deletion of this virtual machine, this public IP will remove automatically. Okay, next let me create it. First it will check the status. Okay, okay, so it's deploying the first virtual machine. We can see according to this lab we need to create this another virtual machine as well. Probably it will done. Let me create another virtual machine. Okay, VM2. Okay, server. We need to set as a server only. Let me set the username and password. So we need to set credential for every virtual machine. Ports we can open port 80 as well. Okay, let it be open. We can change this as well. Okay, let me create it. Let's create. In the meanwhile, we can check our load balancer. Yeah, it has been working fine. Sorry, our virtual network. It's deployed well. Okay, let's check the virtual machine as well. You can check the processing here. Its deployment is in still processing. So we need to wait. In a meanwhile, we can go to our virtual machines. We can check. We have the VM1 and VM2. So let it be connect the first machine first. We can connect as RDP, download this file. Okay, let me enter the credential, guys. Hopefully it is connecting. Network connection, yes. Okay, so since it is a server, so we need to install the server first. Let me check the server manager. Okay, it's still configuring. We need to wait for some time. So firstly, we need to add roles and features. Then we can check whether our server has been installed or not. Yeah, should work. We have the web server, add feature. Okay, let it be installed first. Probably it will take some time here to install this web server. Okay, hope it installed successfully. So we can check whether our server is working fine or not. Just open this Explorer. Okay, here we can check localhost. Yeah, so our server is working fine. There is no issue in it. Okay, let's check with another VM. We have VM2 as well. Let's connect this VM as well. So in this virtual machine, we also install that web server. Probably it will take some time. So let me pause this video from here so that I can install the web server with the same process. So guys, our both virtual machine has been ready and working fine. You can check both the server has been installed. And now I need to, according to this lab, firstly we need to create this load balancer, and where we will check whether this load balancer has been working and connected well with both of the server or not. So let's move to the Azure portal. So we can open this load balancer here, or you can check it, you can search it from here as well. So I'm gonna tap it and I'm gonna create this load balancer. Select this load balancer from the very left and create it. So you can create the new resource group as well. I have already created it, so I will select the same. Now we need to set the meaningful name. Let me set the meaningful name, load balancer 1. Okay, I have already selected my location. You can select this SKU. Basically it's a basic gateway or standard according to your work need, but Microsoft recommend always this standard, so I will select this one. The type of this load balancer would be public since we are doing from internet, and go to the next. So when I clicked on next, here we can see it is a front-end IP configuration. So it is basically the inbound and outbound communication. So we don't have any settings here. So I'll click on it. I will add this front-end IP configuration. I will give the meaningful name. Okay, let me select. Okay, we cannot select both of these because we have already created. So firstly, we need to create it. So let me create this IP address. John redundance is okay. Okay, now it is created. Okay, add. Now we have add this front-end IP configuration. Let's move. So now we have backend pool, guys. So it's nothing, just a collection of resources. You can check the definition over here as well. So how we can send the traffic, we need to set it over here. Firstly we need to set it the backend pool name. Okay, let me check it. Let me select the load balancer which we have created. It must be Nick here. If you want to set any specific IP address, you can select this and enter it here. However, we are doing it via network interface card. Okay, Nick. IP configuration, again we need to add. Uh, so here we need to select both of these machine, our virtual machine 1 and virtual machine 2. If we have 10th of machine and we want to distribute our load through load balancer across all the machine, then we can select all the machine over here. So let me select it. Okay, we have already select. Let me save it, go to next. So now we need to create this inbound rule, add a load balancing rule here. Let me set a meaningful name. Okay, front-end IP configuration, we'll select this one. Backend pool, we'll select this one. TCP will remain same. Port, since we are doing it, we will set the port 80, guys. Health probe is nothing, just to if we want to check our virtual machine health. Let's suppose we have five virtual machine, or we have two virtual machines in this lab, and one virtual machine is not working fine. So we can check the health probe over there. So let me set it as well, and let me create a meaningful name. Okay, protocol will remain same, port 80. Interval will be 5 second, or you can set according to your like 10 second or something. That means whatever you set the second here, after 5 second it will check all the your virtual machine's health. Okay, health is done. Client IP, disable, we will select it none, no issue. Okay, let me add it. Let's, if we want, we can add the outbound rule as well. It is the same. Since we are doing the inbound only, we will not do it. Tag review. Okay, let me create this load balancer. Its deploying is in the progress. Hopefully it will take some time. Let's wait. In the meanwhile, let me open my virtual machines, or we can wait for some time here. So guys, our virtual machine has been ready. Our load balancer has also been ready. You can check it over here. This is our load balancer. So just go to this load balancer. Then we need to go to front end IP configuration, which we have created on that time. Just copy this IP address and try to search it in the new window. So you can check it over here that we are able to access our server, our virtual machine server, and that is how our load balancer work, and it will distribute the load balance to the both of the machine. In case we have this virtual machine 1 and we have any issue regarding it and we stop this machine, let's try to check. Let it be stop working first. Let it be change the status. Okay, yeah, so status has been stopped, and just go back to that page again and try to refresh it. So you can check guys, our server has still been accessed. Our load balancer is still working on the virtual machine 2. So the load has been shifted to the another machine. So that is how this load balancer work, and our motive of this lab has been successfully completed. Thank you for the watching video guys.